The individual and collective of citizens is the priority of the coalition government, and as such, they continue to travel across the region to meet with Guyanese at every level. Wednesday, August 27, the ministers joined regional officials and fanned out across the Essequibo Islands West Demerara region. Promises were made and kept.
On August 10, Prime Minister Honorable Moses Naramotu and Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency, Joseph Harmon, along with several representatives of state entities, including the Guyana Water Incorporated, met with residents at the Parfait Harmony Primary School to hear of their concerns. On August 28, the team returned with news that issues raised were addressed.
I'm told that the contracts are going to go out for advertisement. Some process has started for a number of roads throughout West Demerara and including Parfait Harmony. But since I was told yesterday that it will take a few weeks, I said, no, we cannot wait any longer. Let's start some of the works. And so we consulted, and the ministry, the Central Housing and Planning Authority, has decided that they will transfer this $40 million to start work immediately.
Amongst the exciting news was the installation of 100 LED streetlights in the community and the drilling of several wells by GWI. Residents were relieved to hear of the major road upgrades, the provision of core homes and home improvement subsidies, and the establishment of a night school for high school dropouts.
They said they will do all the lights, but I said I don't want all. Start with a few so that the people know that we have good faith, that we are keeping our words, and we must start today, not next week.
A call by the newly established community policing group saw the unit receiving 12 brand new bicycles to execute their work.
As we said to you when we were here a few Saturdays ago, that we will come back, we'll come back with a plan. And I believe that the Prime Minister has actually elaborated on that plan. And so I'm just here to support what our Prime Minister has said. So Parfait Harmony, you know, when we say we will do something, we do it. We do it.
The individual and collective of citizens is the priority of the coalition government, and as such, they continue to travel across the region to meet with Guyanese at every level. Wednesday, August 27, the ministers joined regional officials and fanned out across the Essequibo Islands West Demerara region. Promises were made and kept. Politics and the development of community took center stage at Tushin East Bank, Essequibo. The failure of the opposition-led NDC to properly serve residents was highlighted during the interactive community meeting with Minister of Social Protection, Honorable Amna Ali.
As the NDC clean, they put the blame on one time Mr. Granger, then some friends of mine who have children going there who was affected by the same problem. They whisper that the people say, Mr. Jack, you don't clean this school.
They're claiming that they're paying rates and taxes and they're not getting service. So I think that we need, or the government should look at the system in which the NDC operates, because one of the things I can tell you, that what they're claiming, that if they do things to enhance the area, they say the government will look good, and they don't want that.
Minister of Social Protection, the Honorable Amna Ali, underscored the need for the Tushin IFLOC neighborhood residents to hold their officials accountable.
Why is it the NDC is punishing you? You know why, comrades? Everything for them is political. And they believe that if they don't do any developmental work, the government will look bad. They are not caring. They don't care how much it affects the people who are living there.
Obstruction by local officials to the development was also highlighted at the meeting in Stewartville, where Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alicock and Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection with responsibility for labor Keith Scott were present.
DC, again, they're not digging the drains. We have bushes. When you go to them, all they would say to us, they are not looking after us.
It is about leadership. It is about responsibility. We need to understand that given the opportunity to manage our affairs is something that is good, power in your hand. You have to plan.
If you elect people to office, there's a thing called community action. We have to organize to resist and fight for ourselves.
Home to scores of rice and cash crop farmers, residents of Windsor Forest turned out in their numbers to the community engagement with Minister of Communities Honorable Ronald Bolkan and Mayor of Georgetown, His Worship Ubraj Narayan.
The meeting harvested fruitful conversations about matters of concerns for residents, including personal lease matters, repairs of roads, improved water connectivity, and sanitation.
We're here to listen, we take note, and we give a commitment that wherever possible, where it is possible to attend to conditions immediately or in the short term, that will happen. But it is not always the case.
I'd like to know when again we'll have another meeting like this to meet with people of the government so we can get the same interaction again, because this is not often. I think we need more of this.
Also in attendance were officials from GWI who committed to addressing the residents' water concerns.
The meeting at the West Demerara Secondary School took more of a lighter side. Using the biblical text, "Ask and it shall be given to you," Minister of Natural Resources, the Honorable Raphael Trotman, promised to honor a request by the senior secondary school.
The school's principal, Harry Narayan, made the request to the Minister of Natural Resources, Raphael Trotman.
I would like you, Minister, to assist us in playing this song. And so therefore, I would like to request from you, because one of our challenges is expanding our steel pan. And so I'm asking if the ministry can at least give a pair of chrome pans to the West Demerara Secondary School.
The band played salubrious songs at the community meeting at intervals. Minister Trotman was receptive and responded to the request.
I said when I heard them, the band playing, I said that they were at a national standard. So you just confirmed that they brought second. I don't know where I can source 2 chrome pans from, but if you do know and you give me the price, I will commit, and I'm doing so publicly now, to getting them for you.
2 students from the Steel Pan Orchestra shared their thoughts on the new development.
It will be a great addition to our team because for now we are a small band and we occupy some of the steel pan from the Stewartville Secondary. So the 2 extra steel pan would be great for us, and it will also improve the sound quality of the band. If we can get some more melody, it would be awesome.
I should say I'm in awe because it's actually a very great idea, and it will be chrome pans, which makes it even better for us.
Over at Zealot Nursery School, residents were in high praise for the tangible developments within the community.
Zealot Phase 1, 2, and 3 has benefited significantly from the AFC and the APNU government in terms of light, road, blaze. Even the nursery school has been upgraded, and more other benefits are still coming. I know for a fact that the government has definitely delivered for us.
I know at Zealot here, they have been doing tremendous work. I've seen some vast improvement within our community. We would have got certain infrastructure would have been put in place, and we are very much happy for that. And I know our children in the community would have benefited from schools, accessing schools.
Minister Ramjitan promised that development will continue to take place under the coalition government.
In almost every single other aspect of government, whether it is infrastructure, we have built more bridges, we have built more roads, we built the airport into a brand new modern thing. We have built so many things, far more than the PDP. There's no doubt about that. We want to build more communities, but we have to get more monies for that because monies sometimes run out on governments by the end of the year. But when we start with that oil and gas revenues stream, you're certainly going to get lots more.
We now turn our attention to Virgin Union, where we met 61-year-old Anthony Farrier, who, after sharing a story during the meeting with Minister of Education Dr. Nicolette Henry, received assistance.
I got a little daughter, graduated this school year, and she got an accident a couple years ago, and she got a damaged brain. And this old one side, deaf on this one side. So I asked him for a contribution for just some school books, school bag, and shoes, and some socks, and some uniform.
Ferrier pleaded with the Honorable Minister Henry for assistance so that the young daughter can acquire school uniforms and other supplies to begin school when it reopens in September. The proud father returned home in smiles after receiving assistance from the Regional Education Officer, Anesta Douglas.
Running up to the reopening of school for September, we have organized a back-to-school drive where we solicited help from business places, and they have given us school supplies, backpacks. We have also, through the region, we have procured uniforms which include shirts and trousers and uniform for students who are in need. And so at the present, we are equipped to assist persons who are in need.
The dream of home ownership is one shared by the residents within the Vredenhoop Plastic City community.
During the community meeting, a resident complained that he and others are being bullied to leave the area. According to the young man known as Adrian, this stems from the claims made by one individual who says that he holds the transport for lands, including the area by the Vredenhoop Secondary School and other businesses.
How is it possible for you to have a school in this location and someone has a transport harassing outstanding businessmen in the community and outstanding residents and constantly pushing to block this entire area?
Chairing the meeting was Minister within the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Jaipal Sharma. He said that the matter will be reviewed by the Attorney General for legal advice on the way forward.
I don't think any citizen of this country should hold other residents and the local authority, the local democratic organ, the regional democratic council, and the central government to ransom. We have to verify these documents and ensure they're authentic.
The minister stressed that persons will need to abide by the final ruling, but if the document is in fact not authentic, it will be challenged in court.
The pledges and deliveries by the government continue to roll out at Dikindran.
A number of young persons attending the community meeting called for the establishment of a multipurpose center and playground to support talented youths. Colin Henry, a young man who's involved in sports, noted that the community has many talented and gifted youths, even without sporting facilities.
We got national under 15 footballers making national team, and we don't have a ground. We got athletes inside this community, and we don't have a ground. We got people dancing inside this community, and we don't have a multi-purpose facility.
Candace Amsterdam, a young teacher from the community, said she would like to see a multifunctional facility constructed where children can go and learn to read, use a computer, and participate in other activities such as drama and dance.
We have one dance school in this country. Why we can't have one in Region 3 or in Region 5? Why children can go and learn the arts in poetry and drama? It's not all about the reading books and talks or the social studies and science. We need children to be in different areas in the arts or in even education.
While the residents had suggested that the old Gaisuko Pay Office be made into such a facility, the Minister of Social Protection, Dr. George Norton, who chaired the meeting, reminded that $7 million was released for developments at Burasiri. He advised residents to spend the monies that were already budgeted.
You have got to decide, apart from the ground itself, if you want a multi-purpose building and what it must be done, what must be done in that building. It is you to decide, and this government is prepared to allow you to make that decision.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some, in their simple acts of kindness, change the world in their own little way. Such is the case of prominent rice farmer Jai Rupai. Rupai is one of a number of residents from Baggotsville who have been giving back to their community by way of providing jobs for the youth.
He told his story during the community meeting held at the Baggotsville Community Center with the Honorable Minister within the Ministry of Communities with responsibility for housing, Annette Ferguson.
There were 104 rice mills in Guyana. When PP took over power, 52 left. We were victimized under PP government. We never planted rice, we never closed down. When PNC up to go in power, we start planting back. And today, the compliments up to PNC, they've done well for Rupi and the family. We employ over 200 persons, and thanks to PNC and UPNO, we have done a wonderful job for people and the rice farmers then.
Also given back were a number of small contractors who were hungry to grow and do more.
I must say I'm grateful for this government and the work that they're doing. In Baggotsville, there's a lot of junior contractors which are willing to go out there and execute work. But still, as junior contractors, we're facing a lot of issues pertaining to loans and grants. Because mostly when we get a contract, it's very hard for a person starting with nothing to start a contract. And no one wants to approve us.
Minister Ferguson imparted some words of wisdom to the young contractors on how they can grow whilst they straighten out the necessary requirements to be eligible for loans from the Small Business Bureau.
You're like a startup contractor. You know you ain't got grader, you ain't got we call it high mark, you ain't got roller, you ain't got paver. So you're looking for these big road contracts. No, but before you get to that level, you're not going to start small. You got to start somewhere.
Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Valerie Guerrero, and Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency, Joseph Harmon, was in Stanleytown and responded to calls for a night school to be established in the village.
With regards to night school, that's an excellent idea, and I think that can come from the community first thing.
The minister urged residents to seek out retired school teachers and skilled persons within their own community to assist with the program. DG Harmon also singled out a school feeding program being conducted by a private resident, Maureen Waldron, and her family for school children in their Stanleytown community.
The school feeding program is a program which the government actually embraces. We've allocated money for this school feeding program. There are some schools that were identified as pilot schools that will have that. But in cases where you have citizens deciding that they're going to come up and do these things, we have to work with you.
Obstruction by local officials to development was also highlighted at the meeting in Stewartville, where Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, the Honorable Sidney Allicock, and Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection with responsibility for labor, the Honorable Skeet Scott, were present.
The NDC, again, they're not digging the drains. We have bushes. When you go to them, all they would say to us, they are not looking after us.
We need to understand that given the opportunity to manage our affairs is something that is good, power in your hand. You have to plan.
If you elect people to office, there's a thing called community action. We have to organize, to resist, and fight for ourselves.
You have been watching a special InfoHub production highlighting the recent ministerial meetings held across Region 3. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.